Hi, everyone, and welcome back to a brand new episode of Couch to Careers. This week's topic is all about virtual internships.
And we are super excited to be joined by a very special guest to talk to us about those virtual internships. We have Olivia Westemeier with us. So first, welcome, Olivia. Thank you so much for joining us. Can you just go ahead and share with us a little bit about yourself and kind of what you were doing over this past summer?
Of course. Well, first, thank you so much for having me. A little bit about myself. I'm currently a senior at the University of Iowa studying psychology and rhetoric. And over the summer, I did a virtual internship with an organization called Resilience Advocates for Ending Violence, where I was their sexual assault prevention program evaluator.
Excellent. We'll make sure that we dig a little bit deeper into Olivia's experiences and share with you all some tips on finding your own virtual internships. Make sure you stick around all the way until the end, because that's where we'll actually talk about Parker Dewey, a new partnership that we have unveiled for the fall semester. So let's begin.
Okay, so starting off, Olivia, can you tell us what your internship was and then what it ended up being like for you to do it in a virtual environment?
Yeah, so just a reminder, I did essentially a sexual assault prevention program evaluation. So I analyzed the organization's K through 12 prevention programming, specifically for boys, male athletes, as well as just male students across the entire Michigan state that they work with. And essentially, I analyzed pre-post test data to see their willingness to intervene in potentially abusive situations and their ability to identify abusive situations. And with all this data, I created a full comprehensive report for them, both visualizing data as well as recommendations of improving the program so they could share it not only with the organization themselves, but also with future funders or collaborators. Regarding it being online, I was pretty lucky that pretty much all my responsibilities were utilizing just websites and data. However, there was a lot of kind of issues with sometimes my motivation, as well as just feeling connected to the organization, since I only met with my advisor probably once a week and we talked on email. So it was sometimes hard to feel connected, but thankfully the organization was very welcoming and we did the best not only to make the internship achieve the goals, but also make sure that I had some professional development as well as that I felt close with the organization.
So Olivia, thank you for sharing all that background detail on your internship experience. Can you share with us a little bit about a couple skills that you were able to pick up through this internship? And then how do you think this internship is ultimately helping you with your future career goals?
Yeah, so my ultimate career goal is to get a PhD in clinical psychology in order to work in academia as a professor and a researcher, but also as an advocate for the community that I'm in, since my research interests are very much rooted in social change and helping the community. And while I've had a range of amazing experiences at the University of Iowa, I really only worked with the campus in terms of violence prevention. So this internship definitely exposed me to a whole new population, just seeing how very small changes in state or age groups can really alter how you approach anti-violence work. And so I've really decided I'm going to be continuing doing that and being more invested in the community. In terms of specific skills, pretty much anytime I've ever done data analysis or evaluation, it's always been with other researchers. So when you tell them a statistic, they're like, oh yeah, definitely, let's move on. But with this organization, they do a lot more than just data. So having to really hone in my skills of figuring out what exactly each person I'm talking to needs to know about those numbers, but also what those numbers mean for them and their organization was a big challenge and something that I'm definitely excited to have moving forward, since, again, my research is not just an interest in terms of theory, but also in terms of social change. So being able to communicate my work to a large range of audiences is pretty crucial to making my work effective in the future.
All right, and Olivia, we have one more question for you. So what advice would you offer other students who would be interested in searching for or applying for virtual internships?
Yeah, so regarding my own experience looking for internships, I would say don't be super picky of what you want. Like initially I was using very specific wording, but eventually figured out there's maybe one thing that worked and it was incredibly competitive. I'm like, maybe I should look for more options. So being a little more broad in your interests, because again, internships are designed to help you kind of better understand where you want to be, not just completely confirm what you think you want to do. So for instance, I found this opportunity on the second page of a Google search, which I thought was like not a thing, to be honest, because I've always looked on the first page. I reached out to so many different organizations, and this one, just talking to the supervisor, we really clicked, even though it was, a random thing. I just got an email just to have a number of different places to pick from, and I had a great experience. The other thing I found specifically with virtual internships that was amazing is I didn't have to really worry about where they were based, because this one was based in Michigan, and I definitely would not be able to afford to move out to Michigan. So it was great to, like I said, be exposed to a different population and just see those differences without the financial burden of adjusting to a new environment. The other thing that I learned pretty quickly is it's really hard to be unmotivated when you're doing your work in the same space you're supposed to be relaxing. So I very quickly made sure that I always got ready in the morning, got dressed, got into a work mode almost as if I was walking to an office. The other thing I found is making sure your relaxed space is as different as your workspace as possible. So I was super lucky that I had a good little corner in my living room where I could move my desk. So I'm not just crawling out of bed and going straight into my chair and working. I found I got super stressed doing that, and my bed was always there reminding me that I could just not do work and relax. And that was very bad for me. So being able to find a way to keep your personal life and your relaxed life as separate from your work life as possible is really great for motivation and just keeping on task and working hard for your internship. Not only the organization, but also taking care of yourself.
Absolutely. Well, Olivia, thank you so much for all of your time today and sharing with us some of your great experiences from your internship based virtually from Michigan. We so appreciate you joining us. And everyone, stick around for this next little segment. We'll tell you a little bit more about Parker Dewey and some other internship tips. So new this year, we're excited to be launching a new platform to help you find experiences. And we're partnering with Parker Dewey. It's a company that offers micro internships. Sauvik, can you tell us a little bit about what are micro internships?
Absolutely. So micro internships are short-term paid professional assignments that are similar to ones that are given to new hires or interns. These projects are going to enable you to demonstrate your skills, explore your career paths, and build your network as you seek to find that right full-time role fit.
Yeah, and I think what's interesting is that unlike traditional internships, micro internships can take place year-round. They typically range from 5 to 40 hours of work and are due between 1 week and 1 month after kickoff. Micro internships are used by companies ranging from those in the Fortune 100 to anything like emerging startups, and go across departments including sales, marketing, technology, HR, and finance.
Yeah. And beyond that, your academic experience will improve as you apply from what you take, what's taught in the classroom, and take it to the real world. And on top of all of that, these micro internships, they're all paid opportunities.
Absolutely, which is really important. Everyone wants a few dollars in their pocket. So like we said, these micro internships are facilitated via Parker Dewey platform, which you can find on our website. And we have included a link to that as well.
So that's going to wrap up this week's episode on virtual internships. So thanks for joining us to learn about these opportunities and Parker Dewey as well. Make sure you leave a like on the video and ask any questions that you may have in the comment section below. Also, check out our full playlist on YouTube, and while you're there, subscribe to our channel. So from our couch to yours, thanks for joining us, and go Hawks!